Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Compliments of the season to you. So in this video I'll be teaching you how to make your fruitcake. You can see how beautiful it's looking, topped with the nicest dry fruits. Just look how beautiful. So the first thing I did, I didn't want to use my store-bought coconut flakes, so I made mine by myself. So I got a coconut, I placed it on the fire, and then the shell just came out. So I removed it from the shell, washed it, and then here I'm just slicing it into tiny bits, after which I'm going to put it in the oven and allow it dry. So that is how I would make my coconut toppings. So you can just slice it into very tiny bits, because if they are very big it will be very difficult to, it will take time rather for it to to dry in the oven. So it should be tiny, so as to enable it dry on time, right? But you have to be very careful so as not to cut your hand. So while that is going on, please don't forget, hit the subscribe button, comment, like, share. Try the recipe out, send me a review when you try it out. It's a very simple, straight to the point recipe. So after cutting the coconut into tiny bits, I just pour it into this tray, and then I will put it in the oven to dry. It took about 30 to 45 minutes to dry. So another thing we will need is this zest. That is just a lemon, so I used grater, because we're going to use the same lemon again. We're going to cut it into tiny bits and also put it in the oven. Remember, we're going to be using that peel later on. Please, when cutting the lemon, ensure that it's very tiny so that it will dry on time, and then also ensure that you remove all the seeds from it. So after that, you get sugar. This is granulated sugar. Just place it on it, rub it on it, and then put on your tray. So we're going to do the same thing for the pineapple. Please, when you're cutting this pineapple, it should be very tiny, and then please remove the middle, please, because I had a lot of challenges while developing this recipe, because the pineapple was too heavy. It sank, as in it wasn't visible on the first two that I tried. This recipe is the third one. So you can see that they're all out from the oven. They are looking dried already, so they are ready for use. So we can now go into the cake making proper. So like I said, the pineapple, please remove the middle, remove that center. I don't know what they call it. That makes it really heavy, so you have to remove it, please, before you dry, or you can remove it after. So when I noticed that it was what was making my cake go bad, it was sinking, I had to, as in the toppings I used was sinking, I had to remove the middle. So that was a contributing factor. So here on this bowl here, I'm making the cake now. Here's on this bowl, in this bowl rather, I have 220 grams of margarine. I used Taruna, so you can use any good brand of your choice. And into that I have 135 grams of sugar. So this recipe, you don't need a mixer, you just need your whisk and then your other ingredients, which I'm going to leave in the description box. You can go there and see it. So like I said, in the mixing bowl I have 220 grams of margarine and then 135 grams of sugar. We are going to mix these, you know, and then of course start adding the other ingredients needed for this recipe. You won't believe, when I was mixing in my other whisk I was using got broken. In fact, the challenges I have developing this recipe is too numerous. So after mixing it for a while, I'm going to add this is half tablespoon, 2 of it of the lemon peel. Remember that lemon peel? Yes. 2, that is 1 tablespoon, right? 1 tablespoon, but the one I use there is half tablespoon. There's 2 of it. So this is mixed fruit flavor. I used 1 teaspoon, but the 1 teaspoon is not full to the brim because this flavor is very concentrated. It shouldn't be full to the brim. Then when you pour it in, you just combine everything together. So in this bowl right here, we have 220 grams of margarine, 135 grams of sugar, 1 tablespoon of lemon peel, and then half teaspoon of mixed fruit flavor, but the spoon is not full to the brim. Just combine it together, and then here I have black treacle. I'm going to add half tablespoon, as you can see, half tablespoon. Same for the golden syrup, half tablespoon. This golden syrup, half tablespoon. And then of course same for the browning, half tablespoon. Like I said, when I dried the fruit, I forgot them in the oven, and everything got burnt. I had to go to the market, bought another one, and then dried it again. Like, this is my 3rd attempt on this recipe. The first one was very bad, it was bitter. The second one came out nice, but tasted really nice, but all the fruits I used for the toppings sank. Like, this is the 3rd time, and me, I'm one person who I never give up. When I'm determined to do something, no matter how long it takes for me to get it right, I must do it. I know I wasted a lot of materials. I had to buy fuel for generator because there was no light. I used Tarona margarine for all the recipes. You know how expensive that margarine is. And plus every other ingredients that I bought. There's no cause for alarm. I've learned so many ways in which it doesn't work. But I've also gotten a very nice recipe that I'm giving out right now. I know I'm supposed to put it out for sale, but God did not tell me that. Give it out was the instruction I got, so that's why I'm giving it out. I know some of you may want to ask, why are you giving it out for free? Why don't you put it out for sale? You make a lot of money from it. But that was not the instruction I got. So that is why I'm giving it out. So inside that bowl we are adding, let's go back to the recipe please. Enough of the stories. So we are adding we are using 4 large eggs for this recipe. So we are going to be adding the eggs one after the other. You see what I was doing, you mix, add the next one, you mix, and then add the other one, just like that until you finish everything. When you put the egg, you ensure you mix it thoroughly so that everything can combine. Then before we can now go in with the dry ingredients. So inside this bowl I have 220 grams of flour, 220 grams of flour. So we're going to be adding half tablespoon of baking powder, and then 1 teaspoon of mixed spices into the flour. When you do that, just thoroughly mix everything together. Then before you start combining it into the wet ingredients. So just gradually incorporate it into the wet ingredient. Please, when you come to this stage, you have to be very careful, bit by bit. I think after now I divided it into 3. Like I added it 3 times. After this one, add the next one, then before you pour everything in. Please, if you're using a mixer, when you get to this point, reduce your mixer very well, and maybe speed 1 or 2, so that you will not overmix. Because I think the challenge I also have with the first one was that I overmixed it. Even though I did not use mixer, I used whisk all throughout the 3 recipes, but I think I overmixed it, so that was why it turned out very bad. And then some of the ingredients were too much. That was why it turned out to be bitter. The second one was really nice, but the toppings, they all sank. So now we are going to get our fruits. These fruits, I've soaked them for so long. I can't remember how long. I've soaked it for quite a number of time. So that is 1/3 cups. So I'm using 3 of the cups. 1/3 cups times 3. Remember, I said I'm going to leave the recipe in the description box, so you can always get it from there. So now I just sprinkled a little flour on it and then dusted it so that they will not sink. That was one thing I did not do with the first time I tried the recipe. I did not sprinkle flour, so I think that was another challenge I had. So after now, please remove the whisk. When it gets to this stage, use your spatula to incorporate it now. Do not overmix, please. Do not overmix. You can actually add more of the soaked fruit if you want. So instead of soaked fruit, I soaked the fruit with alcohol. There is a nutmeg inside, there is cinnamon, and then there is mixed spices inside the soaked fruit. So I believe all those spices are infused into the fruit. So after now, I got this is an 8 inches pan. I greased it and then I just pour the batter in it. But please, if you're using a pan that is not this kind of steel pan, you would want to line the pan with baking paper to avoid your cake from sinking, please. Sorry, from sticking. Yeah, not sinking, from sticking to the pan. So when you pour the batter, you just heat it, tap it on the table, and then this another 1 teaspoon and 1/3 cup, rather 1/3 cup of the fruits. I just place them on top like this, and then this is the coconut. Remember the coconut that we made? Yes, this is it. So just this one, the toppings should be as required, but let it not be too much so as to avoid them from sinking. So here is just almond seed, and then a cashew nut, and then so this one is green cherry. So I topped with green cherries, red cherries, cashew nut, almond seed, coconut, and of course raisins. And then I'm going to be adding, remember that lemon that we made? So I'm going to be putting one of it, and of course the pineapple too. Yeah, this is the lemon, the dry lemon, and then the pineapple. If you notice, like I said, if you notice, I removed the center of the pineapple. because the first two recipes I made turned out to be bad. I think that the center was a contributing factor because it was kind of too weighty for it, so it could not carry it. I think that's the reason why it sank. So I had to remove the middle, because that thing was really weighty. So here it is out from the oven. This is the best, like the taste is out of this world. Like, came out really, really nice. See the back, everything turned out excellently well. Please subscribe, share, like, comment. Try it out this Christmas for your family and then send me reviews. Thank you so much. Bye.